Yo, what's Papino? What's Papino? Yo, Z Black is in the building, man. I gotta make this real fast, you heard? Um, Somebody asked me the other day what I knew about the Harlem Crips that was in Harlem. Definitely, I dedicate this show to all the Rolling 30s. My cousin had kids that lived on that block, so I remember my cousin bringing me over there, and he told me that there was Crips. This had to be like 9192, and it was Fifth Avenue by like 118th, 119th Street, along those corridors, and they was more or less about getting money. You know what I'm saying? They was getting bread. That block was a money block. It was about Lennox the Fifth. All that shit on Lennox the Fifth was lit. Um, they wasn't jail based. You know, there was a lot of stories about the Harlem, about the Rolling 30s being involved with Von Zip, attaching itself to them. You know, a lot of people said that the Harlem Crips was responsible for a lot of water, allegedly, that came to New York through Big Dave. You know what I'm saying? We know about Big Dave from Taft. They've always been affiliated with money. And I had to think about this because he asked me the question. Yeah, it's snowing, bro. It's snowing. It's not a game, man. The St. Louis thing is not a game. And one of the main things, you see where I'm at, it's snowing, is they was definitely about their bread, man. From what you know what I'm saying, from what I remember. I remember like it was 9/7, they did a big sweep, it was like 26 individuals, and they was getting money, but there was some homies that got caught up in that situation too. Now, as I was talking to the person, I had to think about it. One of the first B&C wars that we could say in New York City, one of the first, and I'm not saying the first, because you know what I'm saying, one of the first ones had to been with the Rolling 30s. Going out with the homies around, like, you know, that's probably on Lennox and all that, and Foster. If there was a situation, they had to have been one of the first tribes that was being seen. This had to be like like at least the late 90s, you know what I'm saying? Probably some mid-90s stuff, but definitely late 90s. But they was always about getting money, man. It's weird, because I remember my man I was up top with, it was funny, because in 9/5 when we got locked up, he used to act funny sometimes, because I guess because of the, you know what I'm saying, the homie thing. But he said his baby mom lived in Foster. But I remember when I seen them one time at like 119th and Lennox, then it made sense, because he used to always talk about some crip named Trey. Like, yeah, my man Trey was getting mad money, some guy named Trey. I don't know who Trey was, but Trey something. He was somebody, he got killed. But I guess he was a part of something over there. They was definitely getting to the bag, man. That was just definitely a 90s flow, you know what I'm saying? You know, they definitely was attached to the bag. Like, you know, when you attach somebody to Von Zip in the 90s, we're talking about Von Zip to the bag. You know what I'm saying? You know, I never knew that Aaliyah was related to Von Zip. I never knew that Von Zip was associated with the record label, that black, whatever they call it, that label that Aaliyah was actually a part of before she passed away. I ain't know that Von Zip had a piece to that, you know what I'm saying? But as long as I know, back in them days, everybody should say cousin on the west side. That was like a slang, cousins. The influence back then was like Men's Society, you know, NWA, Ice Cube, MC Rend, that West Coast sound, you know what I'm saying? That West Coast sound was heavy. So I'm not gonna lie to you, that movement probably spread it around real heavy without jail. Because that was like, for me, those were the first Crips that we heard about, and they was getting money. And then, you know, through the gossip grapevine, it was like, yo, they was getting money with Von Zip and Big Dave. And then a lot of people was allegedly saying that Big Dave was getting that water from them, you know what I'm saying? Not them in New York, but somebody plugged them into a Cali Connect, and that was that water. Definitely rest in peace, King Dave. Shout out to everything in Taft Projects from Madison. You know what I'm saying? Heathcliff and all of them, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Dirty Darnell. My cousin, you know what I'm saying? Salute to my cousin Ty, my cousin Timothy DeBose. Actually, Timothy DeBose baby moms lived over there. That's what brought me over with my cousin Tim. You know what I'm saying? Because his baby mom lived over. His kid must be older now. You know what I'm saying? Definitely salute to my cousin Anthony DeBose. Y'all know Ant. He be on 115th right by the live on the west side. So definitely, the 90s was crazy. There was a lot of money. There's a couple of cats went to Norman Thomas with me. They was getting to the bag, man. I ain't gonna front. They wasn't dirty cats. They was getting some money. They was getting some money on them side blocks. 118th, 119th, 117th. My man Shaka, shout out to Shaka, man. I seen him over there one time. I don't, you know what I'm saying, from Douglas though, but he was on 117th one time in Lenox. I seen, you know what I'm saying? They was very organized when it came to that paper on that part of Lenox. So you know, I be seeing them in my comments now. Just remember, somebody says, "What you know about them? You from Harlem, man?" And I remember, but when they was out, it was still crews. Like it was still Purple Rain. It still had Free Willy crew on that side. I remember there was a bar on Fifth Avenue that was close to my Morris Park. You might know it as Marcus Garvey Park, but now it's my Morris Park, and there was a park over there. And in that park, there was you know, rumors and speculation. There was a bar that was across the street from the beginning of that park on Fifth, and across the street there was a school park. They used to always say that Ruben from Lex had that block on Smash. You know what I'm saying? This is Fifth Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Before, like that entrance of Morris Park. You know what I'm saying? It was at 121st or 22nd and Fifth. There was a bar across the street. And there's a park across the street. They got condominiums there now. This is what they call it, Morris Park. But Morris Park, that's the place where Kumo D did his part for self-destruction. There was $1 million over there back then. It was $1 million on that side. But they used to always say Puerto Rican Ruben had that block on Smash. This was the 90s, man. This is definitely the 90s, man. Definitely mid-90s, early 90s. And this is when that whole Fifth Avenue was lit. From 12th Street down was lit, man. Definitely shout out to 115th, man. You know, just definitely, you know, shout out to the Jeff Mob again, Jefferson Projects. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Salute. I definitely shout out to my man, Rock City, old man. I send mines 115th, Rock City. You know what I'm saying? He was around Black Raw before Whoa. You know what I'm saying? I should be posting some pictures later on my IG. You know I'm at work, man. But just to make a long story short and a shorter story long, you know what I'm saying? It just brought me back to that time, man, because you know what I'm saying? It was just different. New York was on a different vibe. But I'm not going to lie to you. There was a lot of, like, gang shit going on that side. I think when the Red hit. You got people like Chi over there and other homies that was, you know what I'm saying, like Shabazz and all of them, you know what I'm saying? You know Shabazz, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, that was the thing that was popping over there. Plus, I ain't gonna lie to you, they had a lot of African homies around that time, like the late 90s, there was a lot of African homies that was like on Lenox and all that, by like at least by Rice and all that, by Rice High School. What's that, Rice High School? There was a bunch of Africans that was picking up flags, man. That was like 9 Trey and all that other stuff, man. So I think that was like the beginning. I think they were like, I got told, I think they're one of the first sets that man got caught up in the BNC. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely like enticing, you know what I'm saying, enlightened, man. So somebody was just asking about that, because he says you can do a lot of stuff about the Don Moves, and you do a lot of stuff with, like, about Sight Bike with all the jail stuff. Like, but what you know about this, like, you know what I'm saying, this, what you remember it was a lot of money outside, man. And for those that was outside, know exactly what I'm talking about. Salute John Shaft, you know what I'm saying? It was a different time, because when we seen dudes with blue on, that was just different, because they was getting to the bag, so it wasn't like there was just a bunch of guys standing on the corner with red flags, smoking Black and Miles. These dudes was getting to the bag, you know what I'm saying? It was different back then. Like I told you, we still had we had the cabs still blasting. We still had it was a different time. You want to be fly, fresh and fly, you know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to the Rolling 30s, man. They're definitely a part of the New York City culture. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely a part of it. They definitely are a part of it, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna front in their case. It said some homies got caught up in their case, but they had you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, when you talking about the B&C wars, they had to be one of the first ones that was all in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, y'all know. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the people, you know what I'm saying? So by me appreciating the people, I'm a
Hands up 15 minutes, buddy.
you know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, we're gonna I'm gonna do this shit later on tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this shit later on tonight. You know what I'm saying? And when we do this shit later on tonight, we have a good show tonight. I want to talk about music industry and record labels and Black Rob and A lot of these rappers owe child support. That's why a lot of rappers really ain't getting jerked. They're not getting their money because of child support and other garnishments. So a lot of times they're supposed to get a check, but a lot of guys got a lot of legal shit going on. They've done a lot of things. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for checking in. Salute to all Hip Hop Classics, my man Clown TV, my man J.E. Moneybag. Shout out to the whole East Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Lexington Projects, Hilltop. You heard? With that being said, peace.